guys, it's Sarah and I am here with my December book haul. I am filming this before Christmas, so if I get any books for Christmas, we'll just include those in my January book haul when that comes around. But this is the best time for me to film because starting later this week, my husband is going to have off for 8 days in a row, which is like insane. That never ever happens, so we're very lucky. So all of that time is going to be family time and Christmas and all that stuff. So I figured I would go ahead and get these books hauled now, and then anything I get for Christmas will go into my January haul. Somehow I accumulated 10 books. One thing that happened was Goodwill. I need to stop going to Goodwill, guys, like for real. And then the other ones were random. One was sent to me, one was a gift, so they just kind of started piling up a little bit. I'm just going to start from the top of the pile and go down, and I'll do my Goodwill ones last. First one that I got here is from a white elephant exchange that we did for our book club. We do a white elephant gift exchange for our December meetings all the time, and they don't have to be books. Sometimes they are, but the one that I happened to get was a book, and I was very excited about it because it's an author that I have heard of that I want to give a try. So I ended up getting The Perfect Girl by Julie McMillan, and I believe she writes psychological thrillers, which is my favorite genre. So I was really excited when I opened this, and I was kind of kicking it behind me so that when people were trying to steal other gifts, so that no one would remember that I had it, so I could be like, nothing to see here, this is mine. This next one here is an ARC that I got in the mail. The publisher contacted me and asked if I would be interested in receiving this, and I said absolutely yes. And this is The Shimmering Road by Hester Young. This is the second book actually in a series, Charlie Cates series. That's the character's name. And she is a character that can, I believe, communicate with the dead. So she has kind of like a paranormal ability. And so this is the second book. I did not read the first book, don't have it. I was told you don't have to, but I'm going to anyway. I'm actually currently listening to it on audiobook right now. I use one of my Audible credits to go ahead and just give that one a listen. So that way when I go into this one, I will know what's going on and I'll have like kind of a background of the character. And this one comes out on February 14th, Valentine's Day, so I will have a review up on that day. These next two I actually found at the dollar store. Did you know that at least at Dollar General, they have a book section? It's not huge, but they actually have like books that you can buy for $1, and it's insane. So I always look there, and I hadn't actually bought anything yet, but I found two there that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and pick these up. So first one is called Wings, and this is by Elizabeth Richards. So this is book number 3 in the series. Oops. But look at that cover, guys. Butterflies. Again, I have a thing for butterflies. It just completely caught me. And then I read the back and I was like, okay, that sounds kind of cool. This sounds like it might be a little bit of a dystopian type thing, but there are 2 other books before this one. So I've already looked them up on Amazon and I put them on my wish list. So we'll see. And maybe I'll just keep checking around and seeing when I can find them, or maybe check Book Outlet and all that. So maybe I can grab the other 2 as well. But yeah, so I got this one. And then the other one that I got at the dollar store just looks like it's just going to be just, you know, something fun to read. It's actually 2 books in one. This is called Spy Mom, and there's 2 novels, and this is The Adventures of Sally Sin. So this follows a woman who was a spy. She retired, settled down, had a family, but then she gets pulled back into one of her old cases and trying to hunt somebody down who's kind of tormenting her. So these are the 2 books in that. So yeah, fun. This next one is actually a book that I received again from Shannon at Leading Likes when I won her giveaway last month. I actually hauled the first one, which was Uprooted by Naomi Novik. I got the name right this time. And in that giveaway, I also won a second book, and I wasn't sure if she was going to send it or not, because when we talked about it, I said, you know, I just really want to read Uprooted, and that's why I'm even saying anything. So I would have been happy just getting that, but she did actually send the second book that I had won as well, and that's Under the Harrow, and this is by Flynn Barry. I don't know what this is about, but I believe it's a psychological thriller, which again is my genre, and it's not super long. It's actually pretty short, so I'm excited to get this one a try. So thank you, Shannon. Okay, so this next one I actually got from my husband's squadron. I've mentioned this before, but in his squadron there is a table of books where it's kind of like a book exchange. So you can bring a book, drop it off, and then take another one. So it's kind of like a, you know, take one to get one type thing. And it's just books that people donate who don't, you know, they want to pass them on. So I went and took probably 6 books the other day, and I don't always take one. I think I've taken 2 so far now, but I'll just go ahead and donate some books that I think people in the squadron might like. And so I saw this one and I went ahead and picked it up, and this is The Lace Reader, and this is by Brunonia Berry. And this is, I believe this is kind of a little bit of a historical fiction where our narrator, who says she is unreliable, so she's a self-professed unreliable narrator, and she can read the future and the patterns of lace. So she can actually look at lace and predict the future and what's going to be happening. Something happens to her twin sister, and I believe her twin sister has died, and so something in the lace is telling her, kind of pointing her in the direction of what actually happened to her sister. So I thought that sounded a little bit interesting, and I am excited to give it a try. All right, so now we're getting into the Goodwill books. I have 4 of them. This first one is just super cute, like it's adorable, and I totally cover buy for me, but I just thought it was so pretty. Look at how pretty this is, guys. This is called From Notting Hill with Love, actually, and this is by Ali McNamara. So this is actually about a girl who is very movie obsessed, and she loves like Notting Hill and Love Actually, those Hugh Grant movies, and she kind of becomes obsessed with them. She has an opportunity to do some work in London, so she does that, and she kind of finds herself thrown into a very movie-esque type situation, so she kind of rolls with it. So this sounds like it'll just be a fun contemporary, but seriously, I could not pass up this cover. It's so cute. I love Hugh Grant, so hopefully it'll be good vibes there. Okay, this next one I got is an author who I have not read yet, but I really want to, and I think this is maybe the 2nd book of hers that I have now, so I definitely want to. It's not the best copy. It's a little bit beat up, but you know, it was super cheap. It was like $1. So I got True Colors by Kristen Hanna, and this follows a family who I believe goes to their beach house, and a stranger comes into town and kind of mixes everything up and puts sister against sister, and I think they're all kind of vying for his attention type thing, but he's very mysterious. So probably a fun adult contemporary. Not the shortest book, but I really do want to try her. So okay, so this next one, I could not believe that I was sitting there looking at it, and I was like, is this real? Is this really happening? And I had to double check myself. I was like, yeah, this is real. Okay, so when I uploaded my library haul sale, I think it was last month that I uploaded that, I had bought this book called Dominion. So this is the one that I got at the library sale. Very, very cheap. I think I paid 25 cents for this. And this is by Randy Alcorn. And I was super excited to read it. And then someone on that video very kindly let me know that this is actually book number 2 in a trilogy. I was like, oh, great. I did not know that. I thought it was a standalone. So I did my research. I looked up the other 2 books in the trilogy so I could kind of keep my eye out for them, especially the first one. And then I'm sitting there in Goodwill looking through the shelves, and hi, here's number 1. I was like, what? Really? So this is Deadline by Randy Alcorn. This is the first book in this trilogy. So now I have the first 2, which is awesome because I definitely want to read that one. And now I can because I have picked up the first one. The first one's not quite as long as the second one, but I was incredibly excited to actually see this so that I could go ahead and get it for super cheap. Last one, you guys. I lucked out like you would not believe. Okay. So Leanne Moriarty is a very popular author who has a good amount of books out right now, and I've been wanting to read more of hers. I did read The Last Anniversary. That's the only one I've read so far, but I do have like almost all of her other ones. And I found this one, and I almost didn't pick it up. Here's why. Because it's a hardback, and all of her other books that I have are in paperback. So I was kind of like, maybe I'll just like start collecting hers in paperback so that I have them all and they're all pretty. The covers are gorgeous on all of them, and they would, you know, look all nice together. So I almost didn't pick it up. I was like, oh, look, that's there. Oh, but it's hardback, and so I went back and forth about it. But finally I was like, well, let me just pick it up and see. And I picked it up. It's a signed edition, you guys. It's a signed edition. I was like, what is happening? Who donates in a signed edition? Okay, so this is Truly Madly Guilty. And this is her newest release. It just came out this year. But yeah, it's signed, and it's a signed first edition. Like, Who does this? Signed first edition. I could not believe it. I sat there and I was like, is this real? Is this really happening? There's a signed first edition for, I think I paid $2 for this. I believe it was $1.99. A signed first edition. Seriously? So now I do not care whether or not this matches all the other books because I have a signed first edition. My mind is blown. All right, guys, that is it for my book haul right now. And I will have one again in January, I'm sure, if I get any for Christmas. And I also think I'm going to start including Kindle books in my book hauls because I don't include those. I download Kindle books every so often, especially if there's like a good deal or, you know, something along those lines. So I will download Kindle books quite a bit, and I just don't talk about them on here. I do have a Kindle tour where you can see everything that's on my Kindle. I'll leave that link down below if you want to check that out if you haven't seen it yet. But I think in 2017, I'm going to start including those into my book hauls as well so that you guys can see what I'm downloading too. That's it for me. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you again soon. Bye.